We have already seen about the working principle of klystron amplifier, velocity modulation and the bunging process. Now we will state about the output power and efficiency. First point, we already know the bunging is going to occur approximately midway between the catcher cavity gates, and when the phase of the catcher voltage is retarding, the electrons will transfer the kinetic energy to the field of the catcher cavity. We have already written the expression for microwave current in the catcher. When we are considering the induced current, we should obviously consider beta naught, which is the beam coupling coefficient of the catcher gap. So we have already written the expression in the previous slide, that is about the I2 current or the current in the catcher cavity. Now when we are considering I2 induced, we also consider beta naught. So it is beta naught of I2. So beta naught is the beam coupling coefficient of the catcher gap. Now we have taken beta naught to be the beam coupling coefficient of the catcher gap, beta I beam coupling coefficient of the bunger gap. Now if these two cavities are identical, we can write beta I is equal to beta naught. From the previous expression, we know the current induced in the catcher cavity. Now if we are considering only the magnitude and neglecting the phase, we can write the expression for the magnitude of fundamental component, which means from the previous expression, we will take only the fundamental component, or n is equal to 1. We get the expression as such. I2 induced is equal to beta naught of I2, which is beta naught 2I0 J1 of x. Now again here is the figure shown. So beta naught of I2, current is flowing here through the output circuit. RSHO here represents the wall resistance of the catcher cavity. RB beam loading resistance and RL is the external load resistance. Now we will be having here a equivalent circuit, that is a circuit which is going to represent the effective shunt resistance of all these. So RSH is the effective shunt resistance. A current of beta naught I2 is flowing through it and a voltage of V2 is developed. So V2 here is beta naught I2 into RSH. Now here I have written some extra steps in order to understand how we are directly going to the next step. Sometimes there may be avoidance of many steps in between, so we may get confused. So output power we are now going to represent as Vrms into Irms. We know this is a standard expression for expressing power in terms of the RMS values of voltage and current. So in terms of current, I have rewritten the expression as P out is equal to Irms square into RSH. Here RSH is our effective shunt resistance. So Irms square, we know Irms is Im by root 2. Okay. So substituting this Irms by Im by root 2, the whole square into RSH. We know from in our analysis Im is beta naught of I2. That is, a maximum component of current is the current induced. So beta naught of I2. Okay. So substituting this value of Im in the power output equation, we get the expression, final expression for P output as such. So continuing from the previous slide, we have written the expression for P out, and we know that the fundamental component of the catcher gap voltage V2 is beta naught I2 RSH. So I am substituting here V2. So we get the expression as beta naught I2 V2 divided by 2. Now coming to the efficiency of the device. Efficiency, we know it is the output power by input power, which is a standard equation. So from this expression, we can write the power output as, we will substitute as beta naught I2 V2 divided by 2. Input power, we know it is the input power is current into voltage at the input side. So we have written here as I0 into V0. So how can we find out the efficiency of the devices or the ideal efficiency? We will assume that there is a perfect coupling between the cavities. So beta naught is equal to 1. Beta naught and beta I are equal and there is perfect coupling, and the beam current I2 here is approaching the maximum value. When will it approach its maximum value is that it will approximate 2 I naught J of x from our analysis. Okay, so J of x is going to have a maximum value at 0.582. And then we will assume the voltage V2, which is induced at the output side, is equal to our input voltage V0. So assuming again V2 is equal to V0, we get the value for maximum efficiency to be 58%. So this is the theoretical maximum efficiency possible for a klystron is now becoming 58%. That is, we are assuming perfect coupling, beta naught is equal to 1, and I2 is taking maximum value to I naught j of x. J of x Bessel function is having a maximum value at 0.582, and this voltage induced are equal in perfect condition. That is, V0 is equal to V2. So maximum efficiency possible is 58% for our klystron device. Now we'll come to the mutual conductance of klystron amplifier. So how can we define a mutual conductance? Mutual conductance can be defined as a ratio of the induced output current to input voltage. You know, it is the opposite of resistance. Resistance is voltage divided by current. So we can represent conductance to be the current to the voltage. Here the conductance is defined as the induced output current to the input voltage. So we can write the expression for Gm as I2 induced divided by voltage of V1. So from the previous expression, we know the equation for I2 induced, that is 2 beta naught I naught J1 of x. Since we are considering the induced current, we obviously have to introduce the coupling coefficient factor of the catcher gap. So that is 2 beta naught I naught J1 of x. Here only the fundamental component is considered. Now, from the previous analysis, we know the equation for the bunging parameter denoted by X for a klystron. So, this denominator voltage V1, I am going to represent in terms of the bunging parameter X. So, when I am substituting this second equation in the first equation, I get the third equation. So, transconductance Gm, here again now I am writing it in terms of the bunging parameter X. So I get substitution of second into first, I get the third equation for the mutual conductance of a klystron amplifier. Now from this expression, I0 divided by V0, I can take it to be G0 or the beam conductance. So again rewriting the expression for Gm, I get the expression as such. Now continuing from the previous equation, we can write here expression for normalized mutual inductance or Gm by G0 as such. Now again we can write the expression for voltage gain AV to be V2 divided by V1. V2 here is the output voltage in the catcher gap and V1 is our input microwave signal voltage. So V2 I can write here as RSH beta naught of I2 as already seen. So again substituting for V2 in the voltage gain equation, AV turns out to be beta naught RSH I2 divided by V1. Now we know that we have written the expression for voltage V1 in terms of bunging parameter. That is our equation 2. So when I am substituting for voltage V1 in terms of bunging parameter X, we get the expression for voltage gain AV as written here. Now again we know I2 is 2 I naught J1 of X, that is a current induced in the catcher gap. This is a fundamental component of current induced for n is equal to 1. So when I am substituting the value of I2 in the expression of AV, we get the expression as such. Again we can see that there is a relationship established between the voltage gain AV to the transconductance Gm of the amplifier. So we have already seen the expression for transconductance Gm. So from this particular equation, we can realize this AV is equal to Gm. This whole term except RSH, it is representing transconductance Gm. So AV can be written as Gm into RSH. Okay. So we have to remember this relationship between the voltage gain AV and the transconductance Gm for a klystron amplifier.